You're still watching the City of Lagos TV show on TV Nigeria. And of course, today we'll be taking a look at a very fundamental issue which borders on technology and innovation, policies and initiatives that will pave way for the evolution of a smarter, digital, efficient, and competitive Lagos. We'll be speaking with the special advisor to Mr. Governor on technology and innovation, Mr. Tinubu. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
The Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu government is going to be rounding up its first term by 2023. And of course, we're also hopeful that it's going to come back for a second term. Just for future projections, what are you looking forward to in terms of trying to improve technology innovation in the city of Lagos?
Great question. Absolutely a lot. We are looking forward to a lot. The opportunity of a second term would bring the potential to realize a tremendous amount of gain, whether it's in fully completing 6,000 kilometers of fiber optic cable to drive digital inclusion, to improve the GDP of the state, or whether it's fully implementing or completing major phases of a smart city project that would bring about dividends to citizens. The ability of citizens to be able to transact in the comfort of their home or offices with government on digital devices, the ability for them to be able to get their permits much faster, the ability for government to be closer to the people through digital tools interaction, the ability for us to be able to drive research and development, to create new products and services. All of this spells positively the promise of a second term would help to be able to deliver all of these gains. And all of this, as you know, translates into higher GDP figures, which in turn translates into better quality of living. During this first term, I'm sure as you are aware, we launched a 30-year plan, 2022 to 2052. And the central theme or the crux of that plan was a human-centric city, where the human is at the center of all development. So for instance, the goal is if you are looking for 10,000 developers, you look nowhere else but to Lagos. And so the second term helps us to be able to put all of these things in motion, right? And that's the promise it can bring. So we're incredibly enthused about the potentials of what could happen.
Lagos State has, of course, also come up with some tertiary institutions in addition to what is on ground. This, of course, is in line with the themes agenda of the governor to try to improve on the quality of education and to broaden the horizon. So how do you intend to bring these institutions to play moving forward?
So we already have very good relationships with the institutions. I'll put a case in point. Today, the Lagos State Science Research and Innovation Council funds research and development projects in each of our universities today. There's no university in Lagos, public university in the state, that we don't fund R&D, whether it's University of Lagos, Lagos State University, Yaba College of Technology, Lagos Poly, which is now the Lagos State University of Science and Technology. We fund research and development projects within those universities. But we are going a step further because it's our intention to bring academia closer to industry. And one of the initiatives that is being driven, for instance, by the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund is the Labor Market Information System, which is a platform to help drive collaboration and information dissemination between the stakeholders in the university system and the labor market so that industry needs are directly translated to curriculum in universities. It's definitely important that we bring universities, colleges of education closer to industry within the mix so that we have a symbiosis of economic development, of entrepreneurial activity, of product development, and ultimately economic value.
Innovation and technology in a cosmopolitan city like Lagos. What were those challenges your office and the ministry have identified that are still like stumbling blocks to achieving your set mandate?
I think one of the things that we cannot ignore is there needs to be massive investments in talent, which also constitutes the theme of our AOT event. Talent is a major issue, and one of the things that we've identified is in building projects or in dimensioning projects, in building products and services, the quality of your product is directly proportional to the quality of your talent. And so if you do not have the capacity, right, then there might be chinks in your armor, or there might be chinks in the particular product. So it's by far and large one of the greatest or the existential challenges to us achieving that. But part of us going to the ecosystem is coming and saying, look, how can we better solve for this? Another issue that we faced is advocacy in terms of the ability to propagate the projects and the initiatives that are being done for full and better buy-in by the citizenry. As you know, advocacy is quite expensive, especially if you want to do it right. And I think the lack of funds there can constitute an issue to citywide buy-in of a particular project. Because the more people know about the benefits of a project, the more buy-in they have, and the more cooperators you would get to be able to realize that initiative. So I think one of our great challenges is really driving advocacy, and I think we need to drive it much harder than we are currently. And of course, we have macroeconomic challenges that we faced as well. Today, the dollar is hovering anywhere between 700 and 900 naira per dollar, and it's a disincentive for investment, right? And so you have especially local investors or local partners that are implementing projects that are probably dollar-based because some of the products are not manufactured here, having to deal with a very unstable exchange rate is an existential threat to the completion of major civic projects, right? It's a huge challenge. And so macroeconomics, you cannot escape it. These are some of the things that we have faced over the past couple of years. Of course, COVID was also a huge issue. Of course, that also affects macroeconomics. But I think if we are able to get a handle on those things, I think we would be in a better stead to be able to completely achieve all of our initiatives.
Okay. Power is a major fundamental consideration when you intend to run a very vibrant technological system for a very complicated city like Lagos. So what is the Babajide Sanwo-Olu government doing with regards to power in order to ensure that whatever you're doing, every initiative, effort, programs, projects runs smoothly?
As you well know, the issue of power is a national issue, and the causes of the current death of power within the country is mostly structural. The way power is structured in the country currently. One of the things that we have done, or that the Babajide Sanwo-Olu administration has done, is to seek to develop the Lagos State power market. This has to be done by legislation. And the key instrument to be able to give Lagos State the autonomy of its own power market spells tremendous potential for the power industry in Lagos. Today, if you are a generating company in Lagos, you do not have the authority to send it to wherever you like. There is a central body that decides where power is transmitted to, because transmission is owned by the federal. And so that presents an issue in terms of distribution of power to where it's needed the most, right? And so one of the very master stroke things that this administration has done is to seek to unbundle the Lagos state from the national power market so that, there is a willing supplier and a willing buyer in the Lagos state market. And we will start to see increases in power output and of course consumption in Lagos. That is one of the things that I think will speak positively or will address the power issue in Lagos. Of course, there is also the alternative energy framework, which the Ministry of Energy has released recently, which also strives to address the issue of power and also climate change, because alternative energy looks at other sources of renewable energy that can spell well for the environment. So there are multiple things in play to address this issue.
I want to thank you, sir, for coming on the program. So possibly just a passing shot to Lagosians.
I want to thank Lagosians for their cooperation, and I want to encourage Lagosians that there are more positives that are coming along the way. We seek your cooperation, and we are in here with you driving economic value. Let's do it together.
Mr. Tubosun Alake, Special Advisor to the Governor on Innovation and Technology, talking about the capabilities and capacity of this government to build that much desired greater Lagos for all Lagosians. I want to thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
A City of Lagos TV show will continue in a moment. Stay tuned.